Good afternoon and welcome to the weekend edition of our news. Time for the 1 p.m. news. My name is Chris Mololo. Our sign language interpreter is Irene Chebiwot. These are the stories that we have for you from our newsrooms this hour. President William Ruto has accused his predecessors of stalling Kenya's development, engaging in endless politicking and avoiding tough decisions. He said past administrations shied away from the heavy lifting needed to deliver real change, leaving behind unfulfilled promises to the people. Ruto noted that his government has managed to achieve progress where others failed by ignoring political noise and focus squarely on development. He criticized
Hii Kenya ilichelewa miaka nyingi kwa sababu viongozi are not accountable. Mtu hawezi kusimama vile nimesimama hapa na kusema tulikubaliana hii siku ya uchaguzi, hapa ndio nimefikisha. Wacha niwaambie, watu wengi wananiuliza wewe ndio umejiletea matatizo. Na ni kweli. Hii matatizo yote mimi nimejiletea. Kwa sababu kama singefanya hii kazi ngumu yote hii, hakuna mtu angekuwa na shida na mimi. Mngekuwa mnaniimbia tu na hakuna kitu inaendelea Kenya. Maneno tu ni na siasa tu ya bure. Slogan hapa, Ruto must go, sijui nini. Wewe hiyo ni upumbavu bwana. Hatuchagui mtu kwa sababu ni mnono ama ni mrefu ama ako mrembo. Tuko na competition ya watu warembo, Miss Kenya, Mr. Kenya, hiyo inaweza kuendelea pande hiyo.
Opposition leaders have accused President William Ruto of stifling judicial independence and restricting citizens' rights to political association in what they described as recent government crackdowns on dissent. Speaking in Diani, Kwale County, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka warned that such actions could push the country towards dictatorship if left unchecked. He urged Kenyans to remain vigilant in defending democratic freedoms. Kalonzo's remarks drew supporters from unexpected quarters, signaling growing concern across the political spectrum over the state of governance and the protection of fundamental rights.
Human rights defenders, we all know, under Article 20 of the Constitution, since 1920 of the Constitution, we imported, and this is part of our domestic law, those treaties that Kenya has been signatory to, and all those human rights treaties. Therefore, you cannot run away and pretend you're an island.
You are preaching to the choir. The people who need that advice are not these lawyers. We know what the law is. We know what anticipatory bail means. The person you're supposed to be speaking is your boss, because he's the one who doesn't know what anticipatory bail is. So, I hope she understands. She understands the concern that we have as a people, as lawyers, with everything that has been done by this administration to claw back on the freedoms and gains of the people. She spoke about
to Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, go here and conquer the nation. My super senator Edwin Sifuna, continue injecting with the syringe and the needle of a camel. To the President of the Republic of Kenya, you must respect the Constitution.
All those who are dragged through the anti-terrorism court and treated like terrorists. But we know the purpose, Parliament's intention in enacting, I think in 2012 or 2015, Porter Prevention of Terrorism Act. They didn't imagine. They were looking at transnational criminals like Al-Qaeda and Al-Shabaab.
The 9th Devolution Conference ended on Friday with leaders emphasizing the need to seal loopholes that undermine service delivery and accountability in counties. The government pledged for new commitment to addressing these challenges and strengthening the devolution framework. Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki called on county assemblies to exercise their newly granted financial autonomy responsibly. He urged them to focus on strict oversight rather than misuse of funds, noting that accountability is key to the success of devolution. The executive also stressed the need to link government agencies to improve coordination and ensure resources trickle down to citizens at the grassroots where devolution is meant to make the greatest impact.
Threats that face us going into the 21st century, number one is corruption and abuse of resources meant for the provision of public services, and this affects both levels of government, the national government and county governments. It affects all the arms of government, the executive at both levels, the legislature at both levels of government, and the judiciary, which is not devolved.
To be honest, here, this is criminal. It is not fair. It is unjust, because this money belongs to people who will one time retire. And when people retire, they want to go home with something. You are killing the future of individuals, some people in the country.
Let us ensure that the promises of DevCon 2025 are not confined to the communiques, but are translated into tangible change for our people. Devolution is the currency for powering our economic growth.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has dismissed a BBC documentary on child sex trafficking in Mai Mahiu, terming it scripted and inaccurate. He said investigations by the Directorate of Criminal Investigation revealed that individuals who appeared in the film were allegedly coached and paid. The BBC, however, has rejected the claims, maintaining that its crew did not pay victims interviewed for the expose. The broadcaster stood by the credibility of its reporting, which highlighted exploitation of minors in the area. Murkomen acknowledged that cases of human trafficking for sexual exploitation occur globally, including in Kenya, but insisted that the documentary misrepresented the situation on the ground.
It was established that BBC documentary was fake because the people they interviewed were not under 18 and they, paid people to do the interview and so forth. And we stand by our story. That is true, that they paid people to do the story. However, it does not mean, and I want to insist here, and I say that in Parliament, it does not mean we don't have problems of trafficking in children for sexual purposes.
Update, Kericho Governor Eric Mutai has been impeached after 33 members of the County Assembly voted in favor of a motion seeking his removal from office. This marks the second attempt to oust him since he assumed office. The impeachment motion was tabled by Sigowet MCA Kiprotich Rogoni, who accused Mutai of gross violation of the Constitution and abuse of office. The governor was also cited for the irregular payment of 85 million shillings. Now, with the Assembly's decision, the matter now moves to the Senate, which will determine whether to uphold or overturn Mutai's impeachment.
Why the money? Well, not that money. Since when? The governor is the CEO, the chief executive of this county. There are very serious allegations against loss of funds through 5 cooperative societies.
People that are in this house, they have gone. And I called Senior Council James Orengo that when my time comes to go, I'll always go with my head high, knowing that I've done great for the people of the country, even with the and I've done it with my heart and passionately with my heart.
A number of issues on Londiani scandal was very open to the members of the public, and the money was misused in the doorstep of His Excellency Governor Dr. Harry Mutai.
That the wife of the staff member and the brother of the governor, if it were to turn out that they were employed by Public Service Commission, I know that has already been said, but we want to say very emphatically also that that contention can only be legitimate if it was being said that those people were not qualified to hold those offices.
Well, with that, we come to the end of 1 p.m. news. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Chris Mololo. Our sign language interpreter has been Irene Chebiwot. Remember to join us for these and more stories in our subsequent bulletins at 4 and 7 p.m. For now, we wish you a good afternoon. We'll see you later. Goodbye.